Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Sam. Welcome to It's All Just Semantics. And today I decided to do a video that I have seen a while before. I haven't seen in a while, but I don't know that I've been on all the right channels for it, but I've decided to try the AuthorTube Newbie Tag. I'm sorry if I look a little tired. I am a little tired. I found this one off of iWriterly. So I figured I'm just going to use the questions. There's 13 of them, and let's just get going, because I thought about a couple of my answers and then I got distracted, like you do. So question number 1 is, how did you find out about AuthorTube? So I actually found AuthorTube through a couple different AuthorTubers, most notably Kate Kavanaugh and Kate Wismer. But then also because I would browse writing videos for the longest time, and I basically stumbled upon AuthorTube a couple of years ago and always thought about putting something together for myself but never committed to it. So this is me committing to doing so. Question number 2, what genres do you write in? As of right now, what most of you probably know me for is I am writing a romance series. I also write in fantasy, a bit of sci-fi, and thrillers as well. So I'm kind of all over the board, honestly. But right now the focus is romance and fantasy, though not necessarily together. No romantasy here. Question 3. What is your preferred writing tense, point of view, and category of story? The romance that I'm writing is adult. The fantasy that I'm co-authoring right now is, I would classify as like YA/NA. And then otherwise in general it's mostly adult, although I have a couple ideas for some middle grade books because I personally really enjoy middle grade, and I have a couple story ideas that would be really fun for middle grade. So that is a possibility, but as of right now it is mostly adult is what I write for. As far as tense, generally I write in third person. I write third person past. I also have written in first person past as well. I don't really like to write in present tense, and future tense, just no, I'm not, I don't know how, I don't think I would be very good at that one. I think it would be an interesting experiment to do sometime, but I don't know that that would be something I'd be very good at. I would say mostly preferred third person past tense. Question number 4. Are you a plotter, pantser, or a plantster? So this is an interesting one because it kind of depends on the story, but given how I write, I'm a pantser, honestly. I have to be, the way that I go about it. I do come up with general ideas for my books and such, but I just write scenes as they come to me, honestly, which I think makes me the epitome of a pantser. Although I did outline, I have outlined books, and I have outlined chapters. So once I have a general idea of what's happening in the story, like I've written a couple scenes here and there, even if it's just in my head, I then kind of outline it. So I guess it's kind of pantsing into plotting, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure what you will classify that as. So final answer is depends, but probably pantser would be the best way of putting it. Question number 5. Are you self-published, published, or yet to be published? I am completely yet to be published. I have not put anything online that I have written. I know I do want to, and I plan to, and I will eventually. I actually want to do a series of short stories at some point that I'll put up online for free, just for fun, just so people know my writing style, I guess. But that's about what I got so far. So, yeah, yet to be published. I go back and forth as to whether I want to be self-published or traditionally published. I do lean towards traditionally published, but I also know that because of how much I vary in what I write, that can be a bit more difficult. So, and because I have a plan for 3 different pen names, so I don't know if that helps or hurts me, honestly. So, final answer, yet to be published. All right, question number 6. What publishing company, literary agent, and or printing company are you represented by or use? If you're not yet published, what is your dream publishing house and or literary agent? All right, so honestly, my dream publisher would be Tor. Tor or Tor.com. I would love to be published by Tor. I love most everything that they put out, and it's always interesting and unique and different, and I would love to be represented by them for fantasy, sci-fi, thrillers, even romance. I don't know if they, I honestly don't remember if they do romance. If it's anything else for romance, I would go with Forever Publishing. So yes, those are the two, because I'm not yet published. Those are two that I would absolutely adore being published by. So yes, but Tor is my big one. It really is. Tor and Tor.com. Yep. All right, question number 7. What AuthorTube related videos can we expect to find on your channel? So for AuthorTube, it's going to be a lot of writing stuff. So Camp NaNoWriMo. I am at this point planning on doing NaNoWriMo unless the grad school gets to be too much. I don't do a lot of instructional videos for writing because I know my writing style is very weird, but I do plan on doing like challenges, I suppose, on my channel, and then progress reports on the different projects I have. Write with me's. I do want to do more of those, so I guess that's kind of more the stuff that you can expect from me. A lot of vlogs. I like vlogging. Question number 8. When did you start writing? Oh boy. I was little. I was probably 4, 5. I taught myself to read really young because my parents ran a company and I spent a lot of time in board meetings with them, and so I would sit in the corner and I had one of those cassettes with headphones that you'd have a book and it would ding every time you had to turn the page, and that's how I learned to read. And so I started writing stories apparently not too long after that, from what I remember, what I've seen. I vividly remember having a haunted house story that I wrote, and it was just a story of like, there's a mummy in the house, there's a vampire in the house, there's all this. I would still really like to write a haunted house story, is the irony of it. So I'm gonna go with when I was wee. I was little. I was a little one. I've basically always been writing. It's always been a comfort of some sort, whether it's writing stories or writing lyrics for things that never see the light of day. I did a little bit of poetry. I'm not very good at poetry, though. I don't have the prose for it, I suppose. And then just a lot of stories, a lot of random scenes, lots of dialogue. I love writing dialogue, so yeah. Question number 9. What was the first story you ever wrote? So I'm discounting like the stories from when I was really little, but I think it's between 2. There's an urban fantasy that I wrote about shapeshifters and a large creature that's going to take over the world starting in northern Minnesota for some reason. But then there was a longer short story I wrote in high school that we actually, no, in middle school. In middle school, so like 8th grade, I think. Maybe before that. I don't remember. It was like 8th grade, somewhere around there. And we actually took them to be judged at a writing like retreat sort of thing for students, for middle school and high school students. Excuse me. And they read my story there, and it was very dramatic, very big, like a family drama, like, oh my gosh, I think I killed one of my characters. like looking back, like I wonder if like they were a little concerned about me as a child. I just had a weird imagination, let's be honest here. Still do. But oh my gosh, I forgot about that one. Yeah, so it was it was probably 25,000 words or something like that. But it was just a family drama thriller, I suppose, technically, that I wrote. Yeah, there was a lot happening in that book, or in that story. Forgot about that one. That was an old one. Ooh. All right. Chapter 10. What authors have inspired your writing the most? My writing itself. So I'd probably have to go with, I'm going to go with 4 authors here, because there's 4 I can think of off the top of my head. Tamora Pierce is honestly one of my biggest inspirations. She's one of my favorite authors, starting from when I was young. Love her fantasy, her fantastical ideas, and how she interweaves all of her series into one is amazing, and I love it. And then Shauna McGuire, just for the sheer amount and variety of which she can write, is amazing, and I love her worlds and her stories so much. Patricia Briggs, again for kind of similar reasons as to Tamora Pierce, because of interweaving these stories together that seem to have very little in common at times. And then Jay Kristoff. Just for, I really like his action scenes and like how he writes that kind of stuff. So I think I do take some inspiration from that as well. So I think that's what I'm going to go with for now. I'm sure I'll come up with other answers later, but I'm going to go with that for now. Question 11. Do you schedule your writing sessions or simply get to writing whenever you can find the time? Unfortunately, I am not at this point able to schedule writing sessions because I work full-time, and with school, writing ends up unfortunately taking a little bit of a back burner when it comes to school and work. But I do write basically whenever I can, and even if I'm in the middle of something, I will pull out my phone and jot down a note, or pull out a notebook and jot something down. I have done that basically anywhere, and most of my family and friends know that I just do that. It's more, I have an idea, I need to get it down or I'm going to forget it, and everyone knows that's just kind of how I am. But I do not schedule as of right now. 2 questions left. Question 12. Do you type on a computer, typewriter, write everything out by hand, or use a blend of those? And where do you write in general? I type on a computer. Almost always type on a computer. I'll handwrite sometimes if I don't have access to a computer or my phone, but generally I type it out. And my favorite place to actually write stories is in Dabble, which is something that I found through NaNoWriMo. It is a great website. It's very cheap. It's not expensive. And it saves everything, and it's accessible anywhere, so I can get it anywhere that I have internet or I have 5G. So that, and then I also use Notion to keep track of a lot of my ideas. When I just have like a sentence or 2 summary, I'll put it in my Notion. So I don't use Word like everybody else does. I know I'm weird, and I used to use Scrivener when I had a Mac, but we've switched away from Mac, and I have no desire to use it unfortunately anymore. So I'm weird and different like that. Yay. And last question, question 13. What are you most looking forward to now that you're part of AuthorTube? Honestly, I'm looking forward to meeting people in the author world. I'm looking forward to meeting people who are like-minded, who also love to create characters and stories. And I'm also looking forward to trying to focus more on the writing that I've always wanted to do, but have always been told that I couldn't do it as a career. And I'm looking forward to proving people wrong on that. But honestly, it's mostly I'm so excited to meet like-minded people and hear their stories and their ideas, and to share my own ideas with someone who is going to be equally as excited. Yeah, I think that's mostly what I'm looking forward to. But that's what I got. That's the video. Have you guys done the Author Newbie Tag? You should. Link yours down below. I'd love to watch more of them. I want to know what people are excited about on this. In this community. I am brand new here, so, well, brand new. Yeah, basically. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, please. It helps me out so much. And until next time, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, keep reading, and keep moving forward. Bye!